Now, it's no secret that municipal finances are in a mess. You only have to look at the Auditor General's reports to see just how bad things are. Now, Gauteng Finance MEC Jacob Mamabolo has a plan to fix this. He's deploying 10 technical advisors to struggling municipalities. Now, they will be helping officials to budget, manage revenue and expenses, and of course deal with the supply chains. Let's discuss this further with Miyelani Holeni from the Ntiyiso Consulting Group. Thank you very much for your time this morning, Miyelani, and maybe just explain broadly the immediate benefit of deploying these different people to be able to help these struggling municipalities with their finances. I think you might be muted, Miyelani. If you could unmute yourself and continue on with your answer.
Thank you very much. The principle of intervention is one that at least we've seen within municipalities, which is very important. It's constitutional and it's allowed for within the legislation in MFMA. But the point of it is that when municipalities are currently and the interventions that are coming, we are worried that the interventions are not comprehensive enough. For instance, looking at the Gauteng situation and the country broadly, but focusing on Gauteng, number one, we would hope that the intervention by the MEC is a first step towards assessing what the problems could be, or at least comprehending what the challenges are within the municipalities. Secondly, to come up with a large intervention program. So the point of interventions is one that must help municipalities to get out of whatever the troubles are, and there's a lot of fixing that needs to be undertaken.
There's a lot of fixing indeed, and a lot of evaluation that they would need to do. But these technical advisors, how much scope would they have to maneuver within the municipalities when it comes to accessing all the critical information that they would need to initiate some kind of change?
Well, we've seen that most of the advisors have unfettered access to municipalities, which is marvelous. But we cannot guarantee that all the municipalities are going to cooperate with them in the way that they should. Secondly, what the issue is not that advisors are not required. Advisors are definitely required. But what we would like to urge as well is for a greater team to be in place to support these advisors, because a municipality is quite complex. And if there's voluminous information that must be analyzed, it's something that requires a team that can support the technical advisors in the background. So the point of it is that let it just not be technical advisors coming in, but let it be advisors who come with a team that can be deployed so that they can expedite the process of getting to the solutions, and as well as assist with the implementation, which is where the crux of the matter is, because implementation is where things are going to hopefully change.
Yeah, and even with a team, Miyelani, technical advisors' work is vast, like you say, because municipalities are complex. And so one would assume that this is not going to be a short-term project, rather a long-term, sustainable project that will remain within a municipality.
The third point, yes, I would put forward, because I'm saying this is a first good step, having advisors. The second step is that of getting a team of people that are going to support the technical advisors. But thirdly is to have a more concerted program that is going to be implemented around the municipality, and not just looking at one stream of finances, but looking at all the streams within the municipality. Second delivery is another stream, finance is another stream, as well as looking at the economic development streams and looking at the support services, which is more the governance. So the teams must be able to work across the board with regards to having different streams where they support the municipality holistically, as opposed to looking at one particular area. The issues that are there within municipalities are interlinked and interconnected, and you cannot just fix the finances with the hope that the governance will be fixed. The fixing should be across the entire municipality.
So that's a very important point that you pick up there, because as you speak, one wonders about the different streams and the revelations that will come out from these technical advisors, and if they would have to report any governance issues that may have led to any kind of malfeasance that would have happened in a municipality, the kind of power or room to maneuver in that regard, the malfeasance which might be uncovered as they comb through the different streams within the municipality. How exactly would a technical advisor approach that?
So firstly, we can predict, and we can with experience know that the technical advisors will find weaknesses in processes, will find weaknesses in controls, will find the lack of automation of critical processes that should be followed within a municipality. That is something that they will find. And those are conditions that will create for loopholes where people can take advantage of those lack of automation, weaknesses in procedures, lack of skills in most cases. So those are the areas that would firstly cause the lack of service delivery, or the breakage in the processes, or the leakages in the revenue, and so on, or the lack of implementation of particular programs. And that would lead to the next areas. The other area that is also of importance is to look at how the municipalities are driving their supply chain as well as their expenditure, because that is an area which must match where their revenue is, and whatever plans that they come up with, a technical advisor should be able to pick up the fact that is there an imbalance in the way that a municipality is set up, whether it's within the governance structures, and be able to act within legislation which is there, and be able to put up the consequences that are required.
Yes, and I'm just wondering then, would it be wise for the MEC, not just here in Gauteng, but perhaps if we look at the entire country, that these technical advisors become a permanent feature of municipalities, so that the different forms of malfeasance that you've just described and the different shortcomings are phased out and hopefully stay out of municipalities, so service delivery can happen within them?
So we've had a number of interventions within municipalities, particularly driven by the provincial governments. We've now started seeing the national government as well intervening in places such as Mangaung, in places such as Inokumgijimi, and all other places. So what we are seeing is that COPTA, as well as National Treasury and the provincial treasuries and provincial COPTA departments, should actually be coming together to bring up a program which will be comprehensive, because it is not just Gauteng which is in dire need of support, other provinces as well. So we need actually a national program which is going to support municipalities, and we also need to pull in as well the other stakeholders, such as cooperative, from a cooperative governance point of view, to pull in the likes of ESCOM as well, because they play a role. So we need to actually have a more comprehensive program which covers all the aspects of municipalities, not just looking at one particular province or one particular district, but across the country, because municipalities have had over 25 years of functioning, and I think we have learned a lot. And it's also time that we also look at the legislation as well as the white paper that established municipalities to correct and update some of the assumptions, so that moving forward, we can have a sphere of government which can stand on its own and become sustainable.
Miyelani, thank you very much for those insights. That is Miyelani Holeni from the Ntiyiso Consulting Group, joining us now to speak about the intervention made by the Finance MEC, Jacob Mamabolo, to clean up municipalities so that service delivery can happen in the different parts of the province.